right now, Daniel, if it's itching and scratching like that, you should definitely go see a doctor. Hey, what's up, everybody?
Oh, shoot.
Welcome to another episode of The Unusual Suspects, number 97. And guys, I hate to start this whole show like when it's joking. We're not joking. Daniel has a rash. We're trying to get to the bottom of it. Are you okay?
They call it hemorrhoids.
Oh, so it's not it's more than a rash. Okay,
Yeah.
whatever. That's neither. I'm completely off, and I apologize. That's totally fine.
Just make sure to wash your hands after you scratch.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
You don't want to get hemorrhoids anywhere
He's not
else.
in good shape. He ate at a Mexican restaurant last night, and they even warned him. They were like, "Are you sure you want this hot sauce?" It's always a problem. Yeah.
And shockingly, though, that butt hurt pales in comparison to what the Democrats are experiencing.
Oh, that's a good
Hey,
transition.
segue.
And that's how we're going to segue.
Never
into-
let him over the border.
Guys,
Hey.
we have got a new
Allegedly.
president-elect, and it's like, but be honest, doesn't it? It just feels good. It just finally.
Vinny, it had to be decisive. It had to be the night of. It had to be not something that they fight and bicker over in the courts for months and go to like one district of Arizona, Maricopa. Decisive, but above all else, humiliating.
Big time.
It had to be humiliating. It was humiliating, and it's the decisiveness that America needed.
You know what I didn't like? I didn't like the shock of the left. Like the sheer she would have a chance. Your guys' tactic was call the other side weird when you were weird. I'm talking about Tim Walz. By the way, can we just have a moment of happiness and gratitude? You are never going to hear or see from that freak ever again. That weird clapping, happy. He's never been in front of a camera. He's gone. Kamala's pretty much done. I mean, I miss Joe. I'm not gonna lie to you. I miss that just old, random, mumbling, yelling, angry.
Did you see his most recent press conference?
Yeah, speech
it was
yesterday.
actually amazingly coherent.
I swear that guy Kaiser Soze us. Walking around limping, mumbling, looking like an idiot the whole time, and then suddenly he just straightens up, walks normal, gives a coherent speech, walks off into the sunset. That guy, I think, played us.
There's different.
Really-
By the way, there's different Bidens. I mean, let's just. I have a montage of like 6 photos. There is no way you're gonna tell me it's the same guy. I don't care. That's my opinion. That's what I feel. But I just there was no October surprise. But can you their final shot, their final. We're gonna get them, and this is it, guys. And that whoever their chief strategist of the DNC and everything, Dave, was. You know what? Madison Square Garden, Hitler. Nazis, guys, we got them. Let's have General Kelly, that scumbag, come up and be like, yeah, I heard him call these people and this, and he's an extremist. It didn't work, and the people have spoken. The regular, average Americans, guys, are sick and tired of these elite scumbags. Dude, the Obamas, I am so happy we don't have to hear from that loser again, or his wife, or any of these celebrities.
They're
They're
done.
done. J-Lo, all of you, Usher, bye. And now all these people that last minute, they said that they were going to get involved. Now they're involved. And I'm going to say this, Dave. I'm so happy that Donald Trump won. I'm extremely happy. If he doesn't, and I'm mark my words, everybody's my witness. If he doesn't come through with the promises, if this border doesn't start getting situated ASAP, if the Epstein list and all these lists, we have to
January
expose
6th.
January 6th.
They need to be out immediately.
If you weren't beating the hell out of people, if you were just standing around outside and you're doing 5 to 10 years, he has to pardon all those people. I don't care.
I've gone one step further now, having lived through it. He's got to pardon all of them, even the violent criminals. You know, the violent criminals.
What do you mean? How extreme of a violent? What if they were beating the shit out of people?
All of them now, the ones who have been locked up for. There's Jake Lang, and actually he texted me. I'm going to try to get him on ASAP. Who engaged in violence with the police. Once you know that the police were, to some meaningful extent, antagonizing, launching concussive grenades, shooting rubber bullets, beating protesters, at this point, it's going to be impossible to parse out what was legit and what was not. They were all politically persecuted. They were all given not commensurate sentences to the violence that they may have in fact committed on that day. Everyone out, and next time you want to do it properly, you do it properly from the beginning. You don't just hope to get away with as much abuse as you can and then leave some people hanging in the wind.
Yeah, because I know Mike Johnson released a bunch of a bunch of footage, which actually shed light that, it looked pretty. They were marching people, walking with them, being, nice, uncuffing people and doing it. That's one of them. I want to get Dr. Fauci. Bro, I'm telling you right now, I want him and RFK to go after Fauci for all the lies.
China.
And wait.
Both.
Again, by the way, COVID happened when he was talking crap about China. He was holding their foot to the fire with trade and all these sanctions and everything. And then the last year, this virus comes out, and still, hold on, we still don't have a definitive answer. Guys, we have shit on Mars right now, okay? But we can't figure out where this virus came from. I love how the FBI for, weeks and months on end were like, well, the lab leak theory is sounding like it could be. It's like, shut up. We all know. Like, enough. I'm tired of this pussyfooting around. Just say it. We know it was them. We know, by the way, we know that they were all in cahoots with each other because that lab was Fauci's lab. And, by the way, you got to give Barack Obama credit. Barack Obama did try to shut down that lab. But Fauci and them were like, no, we have to keep it going. But, guys.
What else, Vinny? Like, what else?
Here we go.
What else do you want to see, Vinny?
In order of ease, shutting down the border overnight, first thing. Investigating COVID. People are going to say it's too far in the past. Like,
no, it's not to me.
But the easiest thing, you shut down the border. Yeah. You start looking at deporting violent criminals who are known violent criminals.
No brainer.
Whether or not they came in the last 3 years, you can do that easily with political support, with public support.
Yes.
Investigate 2020 election because it's becoming quite clear based on the results in 2024 that there was chicanery afoot. I don't know if I can
that
swear
word
just yet.
I love that
It's either chicanery or the effery afoot in 2020. It's obvious as the day is long.
Yeah.
So investigate 2020, and we might find out that actually Donald Trump won 3 times.
And Dave, I think we're starting with the illegals and everything, the criminals that get them the hell out. Any illegal, I'm going to say this, if the word illegal is in front of what you're doing, you're not supposed to be here. Get your shit, get the hell out, because those people are going to become voters. All right, especially if you're in California. Gavin Newsom said, it's a lot, bro. Elon Musk had 2 friends that went to go vote in California. They took out their IDs, and the person there went, no. We can't even look at, so what type of tomfoolery BS is that? That needs to happen. The border needs to be shut down. I'm telling you right now, I don't want any wars. He needs to peace up everything, and I know that he will.
Another one.
I don't want any freaking wars, even though J.D. Vance came in hot. J.D. Vance, the first speech he said, what did he say? We need to bomb this crap out of Iran. No.
Sit down.
I want everybody to be peaceful. I want it to be and I want us to prosper as a freaking nation. So this is what I'm going to say in regard to the Trump victory. January 20th, 2025 is when he actually sits. He comes in, right? 74 days for him to getting into office. And have you guys been paying attention to what he's been doing already? He's already called Putin to try to end the war with Ukraine. He's meeting with Zelensky. He calls for the immediate to end that war. China hopes for a peaceful coexistence with America. There's a ceasefire in Iran. It's as if, bro, Joe Biden doesn't exist. He hasn't existed. Donald Trump is doing more in this 2 days. 2 days. Think about it. Than they have done in 4 freaking years.
Which one? Is it the Hatch Act that they're going to try to go after him for? The one that precludes someone from intervening in or interfering with politics? They're going to try to go after him for something totally nonsensical. The rumors on the street are that they might try to impeach him again now that they actually have a felony conviction.
Give me let me explain. Go ahead.
No, but the bottom line, hit the ground running. He's appointed now the first woman chief of staff
I love
ever.
it.
The misogynist bigot Nazi
What a non-smart
Trump
woman.
with his
Yeah,
Jewish
yeah.
grandchildren and his woman chief of staff now.
Yeah.
Hit the ground running and show the world just how incompetent and leaderless this ship has been.
I freaking
and
love
what
it.
Confidence and
Strength.
strong men
Yep.
and men, and it could be women, but I'm just quoting Hillary Clinton. What a strong man can do to restore stability.
And you want to know what I'm looking for? It might be a very unpopular position.
Do it.
But in Trump's first 100 days, I want to see General Mark Milley court-martialed, arrested, and potentially executed for treason.
Wow.
Oh.
Because look at the stuff that came out about him after the Trump administration, where he said, we had these secret calls with China where he said, if Trump moves against you, I'll call you and let you know.
Yes.
Very least court-martial, but there is a solid case for treason charges against that guy. And if you think that's harsh, the military is under very different restrictions than the average civilian. This is a guy who was like the top military advisor.
Going behind the...
And he went out of his way to undermine the sitting president on behalf of our enemies. This guy's an enemy of the people.
I agree 1,000%. A treason, 100% court-martialed, and he better. I'm telling you right now, that is my first order of business. But the board and everything is accountability. It's only fair for all of us that have been backing Trump for all these freaking years, that have gone through all this, dude. The amount of shit that I had to go through from California to here, this 8 years of family members and friends and my career and comedy club owners and agents and all these fucking losers that hindered my freaking career. We deserve retribution and accountability for every single person that has been shitting on us for all this freaking time. Period.
You appreciate what Millie... First of all, I agree with everything except for the death penalty now, just because I no longer trust the government to impose that penalty. I'm not sure if it qualifies as treason, because I'm not sure that we're technically at war with China.
Treason, they are.
But sedition is undoubtedly. And there's a crime in there somewhere. He gave advance warning to an enemy nation, whether or not it's a formal enemy, China. I believe he was also responsible for lying or concealing the number of troops remaining in Syria from Trump. This is a man who actively undermined the president, the authority of the country. And if it's not treason, it's at the very least sedition, or I dare say the word they used, insurrection.
Great.
It is clear that he did something extremely unlawful and should be held to account.
I agree. And also, just as he's hitting the ground running, there's another thing. That Democrat, did you guys see this? Eric Adams announced that New York City will no longer be issuing vouchers to illegal immigrants. Oh, isn't that weird? It just takes the fear of this guy getting into office for now everybody's starting to act. And you'll love this. I mean, that decision came after 1 day after Trump had a phone call with him. 1 day, okay? Right. And then, Dave, I know you're going to love this one. This is the lawfare topic. The Department of Justice is moving to wind down Trump criminal cases before Trump takes office. Are you ready? And I know you love her.
I know it already.
Yeah.
I've been following
So they've come to grips with the fact that no trial is possible anytime soon in either the January 6th case or the classified documents matter, both of which are mirrored in legal issues that would prompt an appeal all the way to the Supreme Court, even if Trump had lost the election. But we still have those people, and I know this is Dave, this is your favorite female, Letitia James, who was already poised to lose an appeal to the Supreme Court. She gets on TV to make a threat to President Trump. Ruby, can you please play this video really quick? This is your friend Letitia James.
But we are prepared to respond to this result.
I hate her voice.
Oh.
I hate her.
And my office has been preparing for several months because we've been here before.
Yeah, got your ass handed.
We faced this challenge before. And we use the rule of law to fight back.
Bullshit.
And we are prepared to fight back once again.
She looks like Eddie Murphy's.
Because as the
there.
Attorney General of this great state, it's my job to protect and defend the rights of New Yorkers and the rule of law.
Yeah.
Look at that.
And I will not shrink from that responsibility.
Look at her. Like she thinks she's like she's a political actor, bro.
She's a hero in her own mind. I mean, she is.
I think she's doing a service for the people that she tried to go after Trump the entire time.
She's going to bankrupt the state of New York.
Yep.
By the way, actually, on the subject of New York, when you said there was no October surprise, unpopular opinion. I think it came when they executed Peanut the squirrel and Fred the raccoon on Saturday. I think if the trajectory was already there, it was already written. But that was like the cherry on top of that tyrannical cupcake that news went viral, and you got Trump memeing it out, you got Elon Musk memeing it out, and you got people fully understanding that's what tyrannical states look like. New York State, where they will lock you up, bankrupt you, and seize and murder your pets. It's what happens when an administrative state goes crazy, and I think that might have been the cherry on the top. Like, it didn't happen in October.
Oh,
damn it! Never mind. Anyway, it was
whatever. It was close.
Close enough.
But did you guys see Trump's lawyer, Mike Davis? He was on Benny Johnson, and dude, I couldn't believe that this was coming out of a lawyer's mouth. I don't know. By the way, I absolutely love this. Can you please play that clip?
Let me just say this to Big Tish James, the New York Attorney General. I dare you to try to continue your lawfare against President Trump in his second term, because listen here, sweetheart, we're not messing around this time. Listen. And we will put your fat ass in prison.
Oh my God.
So think long and hard before you want to violate President Trump's constitutional rights or any other American's constitutional rights. It's not going to happen again.
No,
that's gangster.
Dude,
because you know what, bro?
hot.
Listen, if you were a good person and you were, somebody cut you off and you get upset or, mistaken, like, okay, to yell at somebody like that, the fact that she is an enemy of the people, doing what she's doing, going after Trump, putting everybody what the hell that we have to go through, all that lawfare. Yeah, it's legal, but we know that what she's doing, to hell with her. Those are people that are trying to destroy the democracy, the fabric of this nation.
Well, I appreciate that he's trying to get her to be healthy. Like we saw Lizzo now losing some weight. So I don't call it fat shaming. I wouldn't have said it myself, but everybody knows everybody's thinking. Like, you think mean things when you look at awful, nasty people. If she were a good person, you wouldn't have that reflex. She's truly a communist by tactic, a Marxist by strategy, and an awful, awful person who needs to suffer the legal consequences for the violation of constitutional rights that she's been embarking upon since she got elected.
Look, let's address the
elephant in the room.
The elephant in New York.
We're doing that already.
All the people who are going to freak out about Trump and like, oh, he's going to weaponize the justice system to lock up his opponents. I would not be in support of him imprisoning people who justifiably investigated serious criminal allegations. The problem with people like Letitia James is that they are not doing that. They have been investigating frivolous, completely made-up criminal allegations against him, specifically for the purpose of seizing his assets and throwing him in prison to stop him from retaking the White House. So when they say, oh, he's going to go after Jack Smith, he's going to go after Letitia James.
He should.
Because all of these people have violated their oath of office by pursuing frivolous, useless criminal investigations specifically to harm a political candidate.
They're the fascists.
He's not weaponizing the justice system against good people.
He's utilizing
it to lock up people who abuse their power.
Yeah, they're the fascists, bro. They're the fascists. If you look up the definition of what fascism is, it's them. Propaganda, using the media and doing all the shit that they're doing to silence people. That's what they are. They're the fascists. Remember, it's always the ones that are doing this shit that are pointing. And it's them.
Well, it's the iron law of woke projection. But appreciate Letitia James, Big Tish. She campaigned off prosecuting Trump by name. And then she had her varying legal theories. She says, like, at one point she accused Trump of laundering foreign money because domestic banks weren't lending to him. And she quickly had to change that legal theory in order to prosecute him because domestic banks were lending to him, and they were happy to do it. But then they had to come in with that bogus application of that law saying no fraud, no complaint, whatever, but he misrepresented to the bank. So,
and of course, those banks showed up and testified on Trump's behalf, saying he did not defraud us.
But it's Marxist strategy in terms of just weaponizing the law. It's communist Lavrenta Barria, show me the man and I'll find you the crime. It's what she did, and they need to suffer the consequences. There has to be political blowback for what they've done, desecrated the legal system for the last 4 years.
So Dave, here's my question. Trump gets in. Okay, she's still there. What does he have to do? What actions need to happen? And are they going to do it? Is he going to go after her? And who would be the person to go after her?
I mean, I don't know, and I might be wrong. I reserve the right to be wrong. But a lawfully appointed special counsel. Investigate and see. Get those communications that she has. Well, shit, Leticia. He's not guilty of money laundering because he's getting loans from banks. Well, then can we do this? Very little legal basis for that. Do it anyhow. Go and investigate. Get a properly appointed special counsel, not a citizen Jack Smith who was never lawfully appointed.
Ever.
And in fact, go after Jack Smith for having acted without constitutional authority and everyone who did anything under that.
And he also needs an attorney general who's going to handle these situations, because what are we going to go back to Bill Barr?
God, no.
He was the problem. He was the whole reason we got into this mess in the first place. And like, remember his first attorney general when he came in, like when we have Jeff Sessions as attorney general for like 3 weeks or however long it was.
Fired him, right?
Yeah, like it was ridiculous because he never had someone in that office who was willing to execute the power of the DOJ the way it needs to be used. So this is where cabinet appointments are going to be so important.
Let's say Trump sets something up, a cabinet to do all this. What is going to change? The news is still going to report that he's doing this unlawfully, that he's attacking opponents. They're going to throw everything back at him. If the idea is unity, do we really have to? We must do it.
I think Daniel, a great question. He has to do it because, and mind you, this next 4 years, he's not going for re-election.
Right.
He gets to go balls to the wall. And listen, that peace shit, and that's what the thing, dude. When I was on Piers the other day, they're like, how can he unite? It's like, no. Don't give me that song and dance BS. Oh, now we're supposed to forget. Okay? Forgive and forget, move on. No. Because if we don't address this situation, they're going to keep doing it. And to hell with the media. CNN, MSNBC, you think they're going to lighten up? Yeah, but no, they're done. But you think they're going to lighten up on Trump? They're not going to. He saved them. CNN, MSNBC, the mainstream media need to all kiss his ass because him winning for 4 years is making them relevant. All those people that took pay cuts, I guess half of CNN anchors all got demoted money-wise, monetarily-wise. They should be kissing his ass. You guys don't exist without Trump.
Yeah, we have to appreciate, like going back to the decisive victory, this is a mandate. And people will unify behind justice. And it's not a question of going after everybody and anybody. It's a question of going after the kingpins. They tried to blow his effing head off on live television. They tried to lock up his kids. You don't just forgive and forget from that. In as much as, at some rallies back in 2016, they were chanting lock her up. They tried to kill him, lock up his children, accuse them of being Russian assets with whatever public wrath that would bring on the kids. There will be unification behind the justice and the fair and accurate application of the law. And as far as the media goes, pull their FCC authorizations. They want to be propagandist outlets. Well, they should lose the benefits of what the government bestows on them to spread that propaganda. And there will be justice.
We have peace and unity with those who repent.
True.
There is no restoration without repentance and reconciliation. So I'm not saying, go throat punch your Kamala Harris supporting neighbor and laugh while he writhes on the ground.
Yeah, you mean like Maxine Waters telling people to go up on people's faces?
What I am saying,
them.
exactly. So as a population, as average citizens, yes, forgiveness and tolerance. Like you don't condemn your neighbor, but the people responsible for these things, the people who are actively enemies of the people. You get forgiven when you say you're sorry.
Right.
You get forgiven when you are held accountable for your mistakes.
Yep.
So there's no, now that Trump's in, we're going to build a big unity party and everybody's welcome. So I guess logically he should, blanket pardon for Joe and Hunter Biden and
I don't like that.
welcome the Rhino Republicans back in and give them cabinet positions.
That's kind of the vibe that I'm getting.
Yeah, but that
from
was the
him,
mess
though.
we got into in 2016.
Right.
He's learned from his 2016 mistakes.
I hope
you
so.
have to punish the people who caused the problems because there is no restoration without accountability. And you can't make peace with people who are still your enemies.
And Daniel, and I'll come to you after this. And I think in that, our side's obviously going to be like, yeah, finally. The other side's going to go, wait a minute, with all the new evidence. This is what they did. Mm-hmm. This is the proof that you guys were brainwashed into going rapist, took documents. And every president takes documents. What's it, Eugene Carroll?
Eugene Carroll.
You believe that freaking psychotic person? I want the left, I want these Democrats that are kind of leaning in the middle to see what was going on. Pull back the curtain, show the proof, and then those people are going to be like, oh, guys, you know what? That's where unity happens. Where they go, we were duped.
And this is going to be, I'm calling it now, this is going to be the year of revelations. We're going to see things that we want to see, things that are going to prove our points. The thing is already shifting. People that would normally vote Democrat, they're not longer voting Democrats because one thing triggered them and they realize, these guys are hiding information. Mm-hmm. They're forcing my kids to do this. Like even Monica Lewinsky, she said, I voted Republicans and Democrats left a bad taste in my mouth.
No, she didn't.
I'm joking.
Well,
she voted Democrat.
She voted Democrat. Yeah. That's the problem. Where there are victims of the propaganda, and then there are perpetrators of the propaganda. The Monica Lewinsky, I now firmly believe that she was actually a Mossad agent getting blackmail material on Bill Clinton because nobody goes and votes for the party that sexually assaulted them, ruined their lives. No, so there are victims of the propaganda, and we're going to watch a bunch of meltdowns of those people. Yeah. They can be forgiven and they can be rehabilitated, hopefully. But the perpetrators of the propaganda, no, they don't get forgiveness.
Nope.
They need to be canceled in the sense of suffer the economic consequence. The pollsters out there who spent the last 100 days lying about Kamala Harris's popularity,
Lichtman and all
knowingly lying about it in order to fabricate a narrative instead of reflect one, they need to lose their jobs. They will naturally. They don't deserve forgiveness.
All the people who helped cover up Joe Biden's cognitive decline to hide the fact that the president of the United States is a senile old man, they deserve to be held accountable. And I want to address this from a Christian perspective as well, because that's something I've seen in all over social media. There's Christians coming out of the woodwork to say, well, now's the time for peace and unity and forgiveness. And I agree. the virtue of forgiveness is a very Christian thing. But when does forgiveness for sins come? It comes when you repent and ask Christ to forgive you.
Right.
It does not happen if you walk around with a stiff neck and say, I've never done anything wrong. I have nothing to apologize for, but I deserve salvation anyway. That's not how you're forgiven.
22:36. The one doesn't have a sword, just sell his bag and buy a sword. Because this is a time we're back, baby. So back, baby.
If you want forgiveness, you fall on your knees and ask for it. And then when you are on your knees, you are given forgiveness.
I think a solution, I love the idea of the accountability for the people that have been attacking Trump. But I think a solution that Trump could come out on day one, tell the media, like, guys, let's stop playing these games. You can't be coming after me how you've been the past 8 years. Let's calm down, because obviously it's the media, the fourth branch of government, basically, that has gotten all these people to melt down over. They think the world's ending because he's. And I think if he were to ask them to hold him accountable for what he's promised and see the results in a few years, I think that would kind of maybe unify.
If you were dealing with logical, virtuous, normal people who are not agenda-driven, that might work.
Yeah.
But instead,
I think you're trying to make a deal with the
dealing with activists.
Yeah?
You're dealing with people who will go out of their way to break every promise.
You are graciously offering to sell the rope to the people who will try to hang you with it the next time they get the opportunity.
And I love Daniel. Me and Daniel go to church. Daniel, that is a place of positive. But you are literally up against evil. These people want the destruction of this country. So there's no, imagine Trump going like this to CNN and MSNBC. Hey guys,
look,
I know you've been screwing me over for the past 9-10 years. Kind of ease up. You know what they're gonna say? Okay, and then the next day they're gonna pile him. And speaking of, with this Trump victory, the amount of meltdown videos I've been seeing is more addicting than porn, which I don't watch. But this has taken its place.
Technically, this is breakdown porn. I mean, I don't know what the definition. I got into a
meltdown porn.
Well, because they have like these horror movies. They call them torture porn, and then you got like food porn. So I guess you could turn anything into porn, not for the purposes of deriving sexual pleasure. But it does give me a little. My father, growing up, used to, whenever we would hurt ourselves doing something stupid, he'd rub his stomach and say something in Yiddish. It's a machaya. Like, I'm glad you're feeling a little bit of pain for your stupidity. Yeah. Watching these is sort of like shouting for, like, oh my goodness, you all are almost there realizing you don't quite yet realize why you're crying is not because of what Trump did to you. It's because of what the Democrats did to you.
1,000%. And this is that media that you were talking about. All the women look kind of the same. Bull ring, nose ring. They look just angry. But mind you, though, I feel bad for them because they have been bombarded. They've been bombarded. Bro, if you watch mainstream media, this is the result. This is the result of a psychological operation that has melted your brain to where when it doesn't go your way, you think that the end of the world is going to happen. You want to move out of the country. You think the other side are freaking Nazis. This is what happens. Let's play this. Short little montage.
Oh, boy.
All right, guys, it's time to go to bed.
The eyes.
None of us are stressed about the election, right? We all are gonna just go have the best night's sleep of our lives, aren't we?
Why are they posting this?
She's got looks like a health.
The dog is licking all the salt from her tears. Look. Oh God. My boyfriend's what? My boyfriend
in the living room watching the results.
Oh, this guy.
This is her boyfriend.
I'm done with you. I'm done with you and your mother and your sister. I'm just done with all of this.
Totally normal.
My mom.
Go, come.
This is a rational reaction to politics.
I believe this is all.
Just starts drinking.
That could be a meme. You don't know if that's real.
Guys, we literally don't even have to panic. We literally don't have to freak out right now. We don't even have to we don't have to freak out. We don't have to freak out because it's not even real. Wow. Because, bitch, recount the vote.
Guys, I just voted, and I chose family.
Let's end this reign of terror now.
I chose family. I chose women. I chose America.
How do you know if these are real?
I don't give a shit what it is.
That's a troll.
I'm moving on. We're moving on.
I love all of this.
Bro, he's not that good of an actor. You see him acting in something.
Do this.
Why would you post
dirty.
this?
Dude, because he wants you to know that he's insane. No, it's not. These people are crying. Bro, I'm an actor. You know how hard it is to cry? What are you, nuts? What does he have, an onion in his...
We were wrong.
Robbed by the smashing victory.
Look.
It's an utter betrayal.
Her air conditioner is way too loud.
For any
She's in an asylum. She's not. That's not.
that is
No,
not
she's home.
cisgendered.
She's home. There's
White
a cat definitely right next to her.
Christian.
If you voted for that man,
Oh,
if
boy.
you voted for anybody other than Kamala, and you live in one of the states that it was, close,
Which state was it close in?
or if you didn't vote, fuck you.
Oh, wait, I'm threatened.
Fuck you. I don't want to hear about how shitty your life
I
gets.
love you. I love you, though. I love you, crazy bitch.
Holy hell!
Dude, look at these people. Look at those glasses.
Live with that.
She has 2 fish tanks. She has 2 fish bowls on her eyes.
You uncomfortable.
She just
She just
Fuck
said,
you.
no, fuck you. Jerk. Okay, that's good. Wait, and by the way, my favorite one. Oh, yeah, rewind that. Guys,
This is the best one.
This one.
This is our woman in the beanie and the yellow vest screaming at the sky of this.
Yeah, this is the one that was waiting and just went, no. This is like, yo, Dave, there's no way this is an act, because if this is acting, she should be an Oscar-winning actress. Look at her reaction to Kamala losing. Go ahead.
No! Why?
I think it has
No.
to be.
Why? Do you really hate me that bad?
Do you really? Who's she talking to? God?
Us. No, she's talking to us because we voted for the other side.
By the way, I swear to you, if you zoom in and enhance on her mouth, you could actually see the origins of the cosmos.
I raised you a better one. I just sent it to Ruby.
Oh boy.
Okay, but all right, but okay. So besides the meltdowns, abortion. Let's just really fast. And I know you guys all have your opinions on this. Abortion was one of the main. They thought abortion was going to be the thing to get them over the finish line. Could you guys agree with women, with African American women, with just women in general? It was your right, your body, your choice, and the government. They kept lying about Donald Trump. He did a federal abortion ban, which he didn't. Somebody that really stuck out to me, which this guy. I mean, anytime there's a disaster, athletes, racism, abortion. LeBron James has to say his piece. He posted this on Instagram, photo of him holding his daughter, and he's saying, heavy on my heart and my mind, this am my princess. Promise to protect you with everything I have and more. We don't need their help. He's basically protecting women's. Listen to me. LeBron James is holding his daughter, basically saying, I got you, because all the thing is abortion and women's rights. He's upset that kid in his arms isn't going to grow up to be able to have an abortion when he wants
He's
to.
lamenting the fact that his young, newly born child
she's like 8,
will not be able to abort. Well, whatever. His young
Yeah.
girl will not be able to abort her potential future young girl. I've said this about LeBron James for a while. If you want to be right, take whatever LeBron James says or does and do the exact opposite. And more often than not, you'll be. He's a litmus test for wrongness in the political sphere.
I agree. And did you see the guy in CNN? Ruby, do you have that one? This one is a CNN. Okay. If I had to guess,
So good.
Okay, wait, hold on. Yeah, rewind it. This is a Kamala supporter the day of the election. Election night in America. It's 6 hours before. And the reason he's voting for Kamala is to be able to have his daughters be able to have abortions when they get older. And look at how when he's like, I'm sorry. He looks to me like he's dilly-dallied on the opposite team. Play this video, and then let's break down what he says. Go ahead.
Who did you vote for today?
I voted for Kamala Harris.
Yeah.
Why is that?
I have 3 daughters, 4 children overall, and women's rights is pretty important to them and my daughters. Sorry, I'm getting a little emotional about that.
He's an actor. Also. This is Alex Stein.
Just their bodies, their choice type of a mentality. I want them to grow up in a world that's welcoming to everybody. So yeah, that's why I cast my vote today.
But listen to this. You know what that said to me, Connor? I think you said it the other day. Connor's like, what he basically just said is, I want to vote for the candidate that's going to let my children kill my grandchildren.
Yeah. If you as a man make your number one legislative priority voting to make sure that your children can end your bloodline by
God.
aborting your grandchildren.
Okay.
You're not a man, and you frankly,
all right,
it's questionable whether you should be allowed to vote.
What?
Before we go to the video, she got it. You always ask questions like, who? Kamala Harris, never elected. Why? Is the president okay? No, he's not okay.
No.
What are you running on? Killing babies. Like it was a no-brainer.
Yeah.
And this is my personal pick of the best meltdown. And this guy's a genius for doing this.
This is real?
The reaction is real, but this has a creative twist.
Okay.
All right.
Oh boy.
So this is a flip out meltdown?
Yeah.
Okay, show it.
I'm terrified. Listen to me, Republicans. Listen.
Yeah, that one was gold on the right. She's
Other
crazy.
people in history warned us about.
This is amazing.
Yo, this goes hard. Yo, she hit that.
This is better than System of a Down.
Yeah. Oh my God. She almost had a heart attack.
Yo, I'm in a PR at the gym to that one.
Yo.
That's crazy.
That's freaking.
If you ever run into that woman on the street, I mean, you better cross the street and run.
Oh my God.
Did you? There was one of a woman saying talking about shooting white men in the street if she ever gets the chance. If she crosses you at night, this woman I don't think could hold a gun, let alone fire it accurately.
Oh.
No, she's a Glock owner like Kamala.
Yeah,
she owns a Glock. It's a big Glock, a military style assault Glock.
I've shot it
with a 30 magazine round clip, and she shoots it all the time.
But
no, it was when she said she had her hand on a Glock.
She's such
misspoke.
a bro. Every single thing about her is fake. Every single thing. Did you see her speech at the end? It was identical mirror to
Hillary Clinton.
Hillary's.
Well, I was going to put together the montage. She said the word fight in that 12-minute speech 20 times.
Fight.
And then she said we're going to wage the fight ... in the public or square, in the public square. That is, I don't think people are going to take up these dog whistles because I don't think there's enough of them, and I think they realize right now that they've been lied to. But my goodness, they're trying hard to signal us.
Well, I think that's a very important point, though, because you said in 12 minutes she said it 20 times.
Yeah.
And that was her losing the election. That was her conceding. Trump said fight 3 times in the span of a couple seconds after getting shot, and it won him the election.
Yeah, and won. Big time.
It's 2 different fights because her whole thing is like, oh, we're going to continue the fight of what? Killing babies.
Burning the cities down.
Burning
Protesting
cities
in the
down.
streets.
Yeah. Trump said we're going to fight to make the country better,
America.
to take back our country, while bleeding from the other side continuing Harris's fight.
Yep.
So Connor, that was, if you ask the same lefties melting down, that was fake. He had a packet of ketchup in his ear. No ear heals that.
I'm sure
nobody heals.
Corey Comprator was killed by teleprompter glass as well.
You see, they thought around that. He actually killed one of his own supporters. That's how devious he is.
Oh God!
But it was a packet of blood in his ear.
And by the way, and I have to show this is the last, and definitely not least, the biggest beta male, low T loser. This is one of the ones that, like, last night I couldn't go to sleep, Daniel. I just played this.
Oh, no,
I'm dead.
dude.
I'm dead.
I just looked at
I montaged this myself on repeat because this is one of the biggest hacks, leftist propaganda, BS pushing, unfunny, man show, woman degrading loser. By the way, self-proclaimed comedian. What has he ever said funny? What stand-up have you seen this unfunny freaking Jimmy Kimmel crying? And guys, let's just hear the whole thing up before we comment. Ruby, please play it.
Let's be honest, it was a terrible night last night. It was a terrible night for women, for children, for the hundreds of thousands of hardworking immigrants who make this country go.
Millions.
Hold on.
For healthcare, for our climate.
Our climate.
For science. For journalism. For justice, for free speech. It was a terrible night for poor people, for the middle class, for seniors who rely on Social Security, for our allies in Ukraine. For NATO, for the truth.
Not NATO.
And democracy and decency. And it was a terrible night for everyone who voted against him. And guess what? It was a bad night for everyone who voted for him, too. You just don't realize it yet.
How about this?
That sounds like a threat, by the way.
Hey, Jimmy, how about this? Shut the hell up, okay? You have a bunch of freaking sheep in your stupid-ass audience that are told when to clap, are told when to laugh. The country is doing fine, and none of your rhetoric, none of your bullshit. The fact that he's crying for illegals and immigrants and everybody. What about Lake and Riley? What about the families of the women who were raped and murdered for the past 4 years? And I don't give a damn that it's not thousands and hundreds of thousands. One American girl raped and killed is too much because they were let in because you guys thought that the vote would help you.
Oh, it's
and
okay.
guess what?
It's okay, Vinny.
Failed.
It's just a handful. Just a handful.
Yeah, just a handful
no big
of my
deal.
ass. Yeah, just a handful of my ass. And you guys lost at the sake of those people, all those people. And now the country is going to have to do a complete 180 to turn this shit around and deport all those people. Deport all of them. And what has he done? Hold on. What do you think Jimmy Kimmel has done for that middle class or the poor or whatever? And he's worried about what? The people that are landscaping your house?
He cost them their jobs if they didn't get vaccinated, is what he did.
Yeah,
for them.
exactly.
You have to appreciate just how bad that is for a number of reasons. First of all, I'm thoroughly convinced his tears are genuine, but it's tears because he realizes he has no influence and he's irrelevant. He's not the celebrity that people listen to anymore. The really kick in the nuts part of his stupid speech. This is the same piece of shit who sat there and suggested that they not administer life-saving aid to people who decided not to get vaccinated.
Yeah, bye, Wheezy.
Sorry, Wheezy, you get to die. This is the same guy who's getting up there saying now, it's a bad night for the working class. They voted overwhelmingly for Trump for a reason. It's a bad night for immigrants. They voted not overwhelmingly, but historic highs for Trump for a reason. This is a white liberal piece of shit who thinks he knows better than everybody on earth, who gets to have his pet projects and tell immigrants how to vote, and when they don't, oh, you don't know what's good for you. I know what's good for you. It looks like you've had a little too much to think and you're wandering a little too far from the plantation. This is the type of mentality that allows for that. It's the elitist scum of the earth, and they're having their comeuppance, and that man should be out of work in a year.
And look, Vinny, you cried more convincingly than that in your Red Lobster cheese biscuits video.
That was good, by the way.
I love how he named his master. He's like, oh, poor NATO, poor Ukraine.
NATO
he forgot to name Pfizer. He forgot
Oh, yeah. I'd be pissed if I was them.
Come on, let's get all the sponsors in there.
Yeah.
You know?
So, Viva, since, you're I feel that you're angry, so what's your take on this whole thing? Because
well, let's say I don't often get to pat myself on the back primarily because I have very short arms. And it's only because I was listening to smarter people than myself and also listening to the liars. Because when you listen to the liars and you know they're liars, the crystal balls of the world,
yes,
you know that you can say they're wrong, and now I got to find out why with a little bit of a caveat. So I've been listening to Richard Barris, who's a pollster, who is the most accurate pollster on earth. I've been doing my Sunday show with Robert Barnes, who should be Attorney General, by the way. Robert Barnes for Attorney General.
Wow, there we go.
That's the pick right there. So I put out my prediction as I see Crystal Ball putting out her prediction. And if we can bring it up, I'm predicting now that Arizona and Nevada are going to go for Trump. If they don't, then I'll be wrong. I'm going to be wrong because I didn't realize that Maine, for whatever the reason, has two different electoral college division things. So you got 2 and 1. So I'm going to be one off because I didn't break down the one in Maine. But the bottom line, when I say like these people are shocked, flipping out because they've been lied to, they've been in their propaganda silos for the better part of the election cycle, but the better part of a decade. And so they can't deal with reality that has always been there because it's been concealed from them. And do I have a couple of meltdowns?
Do whatever you want. Just show whatever.
Let's see. Oh, yeah, here we go.
This guy.
Listen to this, by the way, because...
Does that guy work for Valuetainment? Who's that guy?
I don't know, but I got to tell you, they reveal themselves in their hysteria. Wait, and just there's a word in here that he says, and you'll see if you catch it.
Go ahead.
Bitch! You! What the hell?
To the east, to the west, to the south, and back to the north.
Wait, the bitch? You said bitch.
He said bitch. Who is he calling a bitch? He's like, you bitch, you lost the fucking election. But then, do you understand? Like, when they say that
the East-West thing, Dave, was hilarious.
I don't know, because it's a religious practice. I'm telling you, people, if they don't have good religion in their lives, they're gonna find bad religion.
Yeah.
That guy has found bad religion. They say it's not a woke ideology. They say we're not in a cult. They use religious type patterns in their own behavior, but their absolute freakouts are hilarious. But he also called Kamala Harris a bitch, as far as I heard, so that guy should get canceled.
And what's this?
Who's this? Let's play the turkey of we all know who this scumbag of all scumbags is. This is Michael Cohen, the man who said he was going to leave the country and change his name if Trump gets elected. He's not going to do that.
What?
The man who said, posted on the eve of the election, a tombstone with MAGA on it, with the hat of MAGA on the tombstone, which I took to be a little bit of a sinister reference given what has happened.
Good.
No. He's eating crow right now, even on his own frickin' Twitch, TikTok streams, whatever this is. A pathetic man who's doing what he needs to do now to scrape by. But check this out. It's hilarious.
No problem. Wow, genius you are.
He's getting trolled in his own.
I appreciate it. I don't like the stupid turkeys.
I don't like that. Then don't be a stupid
right,
turkey.
Let's just knock that stupid shit off, please.
Woof.
All right. I did. I said I was leaving, and then the following day, get that through your dumb heads. The following day, I turned around and I said that there's no chance in the world that I'm leaving my country. Thank you very much. All right.
All right.
I'm not leaving anyway. You leave.
You leave.
Yeah, you said
it's my country.
Get out, immigrants. I mean, it's there you go.
Every right.
What a douche.
Every single right within which to turn around would we stop so we can. All right, 2 seconds. I'm going to end up blocking this idiot.
What a loser, dude! Like, look at, come on, what a loser! What a fall from grace! What a complete douchebag! That's what you've become. You become just this guy that's on what
he was always a scumbag, and then some people are going to say, well, he was Trump's lawyer. First of all, everybody needs a scumbag lawyer in business for whatever the reason, and the problem is. He was a bad scumbag. Like, if you're going to be a good scumbag lawyer, you're probably going to do well. If you're going to be a bad scumbag lawyer like Michael Cohen, what's going to happen to you is going to happen to you. I love how he says, yeah, I said I would leave the country. And then the very next day, I changed what I said. Oh, you mean like what a convicted perjurer does type thing. You know, Michael Cohen.
Liar. He's a liar.
This is my country.
No, and star witness for the Trump prosecution. It's the convicted perjurer.
But I think dude, I wish there was more accountability. I mean, not legally, but if you've ever uttered the words, if Trump wins, I'm leaving, you have to leave. Get the fuck out. No, I mean, like, we as citizens, we go, hey, here's what you said. You have to do it. Bye. Get the hell out. We don't need you.
All the people
go somewhere else.
All the people who are going to leave the country are now about to find out that not every country in the world has open borders that you can just walk in and start living there.
Yeah, where would you go?
We're going to try to go somewhere and be like, hey, no thanks, we don't want
there's nowhere to go.
Well, I'm sure Ukraine would take them. Ukraine would take them because they need some fighters.
There's another place all these people could go.
Where?
And it doesn't involve borders. They can go into the crystals. I don't know if you guys,
the hell's that?
You guys have seen this.
Meth?
The cave?
No. There's this whole thing about it started as this weird online thing, and now they're making T-shirts about it. That Trump is going to imprison the souls of libtards and disloyal rhinos in crystals that will be used to power our devices for the next 10,000 years. So, libtards are going in the crystals.
Yeah.
No, I wonder. I if we want to think creatively, is saying I'm going to leave if, and then the if comes to fruition, is that a legally binding renunciation of citizenship? No, let's go weaponize the DOJ and see if we can do that.
Yeah,
I'm joking.
Yeah.
What would we do without Cher?
No, the list of people who said they're leaving. I mean, it'd be great, but go. I mean, I'm sure
all of them.
I'm sure Commie Europe would be happy to take it.
Did anyone leave during the 2000s?
No, are you crazy?
Did anyone?
Yeah.
Anyone?
Well, Tom Hanks, but Tom Hanks was some really suspect. He moved to Greece or
it was more of a fugitive situation.
He was, yeah.
Well,
Tom Hanks randomly COVID it. And
when did Jeffrey Epstein leave?
Jeffrey Epstein, do you mean died?
Hell?
Yeah, that was a sort of.
Listen, that guy fits the profile. But anyway, go ahead.
No, like when Trump comes into power and releases the Epstein list, I mean, that should be actually number one. That's the easiest.
I want to be on the list. I want video. I want to see not the disgusting stuff, but I want blurred out. Show us who was doing what. Oh, was that an underage kid? Prison for life.
Just hypothetically imagine America found out its foreign policy as relates to specific unnamed wars and financing of wars was actually dictated by blackmail and not national interest. Imagine that.
Oh.
And you can apply mutatis mutandis. So bottom line, Michael Cohen, scumbag of the earth. And I love it how like the spokespeople for the Trump persecution, Michael Cohen, Michael Avenatti, who's now serving a hefty time for extortion, the scum of the earth, which brings us to the next scum of the earth.
Here she goes.
Cardi B. There are so many jokes. Like I said, I've been making the jokes about Cardi B's WAP, and then someone in the reply section said, I guess her next song is going to be called DUP, which you'll put that together as we play this video. Cardi B asking to be left alone by way of public tweet to the world.
This is after the election.
This is after. Oh,
Okay.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right.
Right, so listen, I'm gonna let y'all know this right now, okay? So you little Trumpets, like, y'all won. I know y'all happy, whatever the fuck. Ain't nobody acting like bitter losers. However, y'all need to leave me the fuck alone.
Oh, really?
Because I got one more fucking cigarette in me before I start lighting your asses up, all right? And that's word to the United States of motherfucking America. Yeah.
She's at Target, walking
like
around.
by herself.
By herself.
Clearly,
with no
her career's
security.
not doing great.
She's
I'd
not.
say good for her, but I'm trying to understand what the "I've got one more cigarette in me" means, because I said she should go ask Monica Lewinsky how to take care of that. Bada bing, bada boom.
Bingo.
But can you imagine this Cardi B who gets on stage, tries to browbeat Americans, exploit her celebrity, which was built on drugging men and stealing from them,
robbing,
which was built on abject moral degeneracy. I don't care. You could like the music, you could like the rhythm. I like some, Eminem songs.
You have bad taste if you do.
Yeah, whatever. No, but like it's you don't have to listen to the words in order to appreciate the rhythm. But she made her career off abject moral degeneracy. Tried to use the pulpit of her immoral, abject, degenerate position in society to misinform people as to how to vote. And then after she gets her ass handed to her because nobody gives a shit about these stupid celebrities, takes to Twitter to say, leave me alone, by way of public tweet. If you want to be left alone, you probably could have not put that tweet out, because I'm not leaving her alone.
No,
and
you
I'm going to say,
shouldn't.
oh, you wanted to exploit your position to brainwash your young, smooth-brained, low-information voters to do something which I think would have been against their long-term interests. They might have ended up in the battlefield of Ukraine, as per, who was it that said it? It was Chuck Schumer, I believe, who suggested that, we better keep giving them money, otherwise we might have to give them our children.
Yeah, or our troops. And but Dave, that's such a great point when people go, man, with playing all that peace talk. It's like, no. If you're using your celebrity status to where you once said you weren't going to support, because she did it with Biden back in the day, and then recently she said she wasn't, who knows, maybe some information about a Diddy video or something came out because she flip-flopped. Yeah, then you're going to go up and you're pushing the narrative for a side that wants open borders, that's killing Americans. You want grown-ass men with penises going into women's locker rooms. You want girls playing, like, all the negative stuff that's happening, wars and all that stuff. Then you know what? To hell with you. Like, no nice guy stuff. It's like, you are pushing an agenda to destroy this country.
You're damn right.
You deserve it.
I'm gonna rub it in your face remorselessly, and I'm gonna make fun of who you are as a person and your judgment as a whole.
Remember, like 5 or so years ago, when it was during the Trump administration, Cardi B put out a video talking about how her taxes were better under Trump, and everyone was like, "Oh, is Cardi B getting red pilled? Is she waking up?" And like, no, of course not. But even she, at one point, had to admit her quality of life was better under Trump, and she got a whole bunch of blowback for it.
The thing is, I don't know if people at home can grasp how stupid she is. Like, I mean, I wouldn't even, like, there's some people I know that are evil, but there's some other people like her that they're just irrelevant. Like, there's not a single brain cell there. Like, I don't think it's out of, like, spite or I don't see evil in her. I just think she's plain stupid.
Well, I think she got paid. I do believe she might have gotten paid heavily.
Paid or blackmail.
Well, that's why the Harris campaign is $20 million in debt. They had to
with a budget of $1 billion.
They had to pay Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion and all these other people. They had to pay probably Beyonce, who didn't even perform.
Yeah,
but
Cardi B, she just read off her phone at the thing, and then she was saying the grocery bills are bad for even me. She said to my face that she would take them down, and she better not lie. Like that speech overall was really weird.
You won't have to find out now because
exactly.
Trump is backing up his.
And I'll be fair to Cardi B, if I'll be fair enough. Cardi B denies being paid to endorse Kamala Harris.
Well, if she
did it out of the kindness of her heart.
If she said it didn't happen, then clearly we should believe her. Well, this is a moral, upstanding citizen who should be taken at her word.
Who admits to drugging men and stealing their money, which making her life with her body, which is great. I say it no joke. Some people make their lives with their bodies, and other people make their lives with their heads or their brains.
Makes me curious now that all these people are exposed and we're getting rid of them. Like, are we gonna see like a renaissance of like American culture? One of our editors, he does rap videos. And I was talking to him yesterday. I was like, oh, this is cool, but the rap game is getting dumber and dumber every year. It's been 6 years of getting dumber. We see our visual arts, painting and sculpture is getting worse and worse by the day. We have Hunter Biden selling paintings like
I bought one of them, but go ahead.
for $20,000, $30,000.
Correct.
So I hope this win inspires the next generation of American artists. We've been always at the forefront of culture. We're not making good movies anymore. We're not making good music anymore. We're not making good art anymore. So one thing is political, but another thing is cultural, and the cultural part is very important. That's what seals the deal, and that what it will make a cultural revolution coming from Trump that will make this win last for 1, 2, 3, 4 terms and put us back going to Mars. You know what I mean?
Well, look, Trump.
I hope.
In his victory speech, he said we're going to create a new American golden age, and he just a couple days ago announced he's going to try to bring back the World's Fair that we haven't had
that
in
would be
decades.
amazing.
And remember a couple weeks ago when I did that segment on the play, like that blasphemous, disgusting German play that is now opening in the U.S., Sancta Susanna, about lesbian nuns and dumping buckets of blood all over the audience.
Yeah, butt naked people hanging by the rafters. Nothing crazy.
What we concluded that segment with was there has never been a greater opening for beautiful things, beautiful, true, successful art. It's time to drive back the minimalist cubism of architecture and create beautiful cathedrals again. It's time to make art good. It's time to make movies and plays and books that fill that void, because we've completely surrendered the cultural ground to the worst, least creative, most degenerate people who have ever existed.
Wait, you can MAGA now. You can make art great again, make architecture great again, make anything else that starts with an A great again.
Agriculture. I'm just throwing all the A's.
It is
make anything great again.
Because Bill Gates is doing apples.
Make anything great again.
Make anything great again. Like if you have the talent, if you have the ability, if you can cultivate that, put it out there. This is now the opening. And Humberto, you were talking about rap and everything. Like, the rap game is getting dumber. Yeah, but rap was never spectacular.
Don't get me started.
It was always kind of on the downward slope of things.
Well,
make something other than rap. Conservatives.
I don't know. Lil Pump is pretty good.
No, I'm saying. Well, I'm gonna in regards to when Biggie Smalls and Tupac, that was that was a golden era. Now it's just it's just the worst, stupid. I have to just.
Yeah, but how did it get there?
They
started with that generation.
Hold on. There are two notable exceptions to that. Tom McDonald being one of them.
Yeah, but he doesn't do this mumble rap. He's not a mumble rapper. He's spitting rap.
He's putting out lyrics. And the lesser known, you guys know Samson?
Nah.
I want to talk to Samson.
You all need to. Samson? No, Samson, the one who put out Keep the Kids Out of It. He did a bit of
song.
He's amazing, and he did the Nancy Pelosi rap. He did the.
I thought you were talking about Sir. What was the guy from Half Baked? I want to talk to Samson. Jake, you know what that is? Fly me to the moon like that bitch Alice Gramson. Dude, what was his name?
Not Jim Brewer.
No. It was Dave Chappelle was playing a character. Anyway, go ahead.
So there are two notable exceptions to the rap.
And Tom McDonald just put out country music, and honestly, it was better than his rap.
Well, because you're against rap, but you're against rap music.
I guess, but
I like Eminem. I liked Eminem, but I cannot listen to it anymore, and I have difficulty watching Raging Bull now.
Guys, I'm an idiot. Sir Smoke a Lot. He was Sir Smoke a Lot from Half Baked. It was like, Lord, if you listening, help! He had sex with my mama. I want to talk to Samson. That's what I thought you were saying. I'm sorry. The people at home that are fans of the movie.
Well, the segue from bad, dumb rap to bad, dumb politicians, and this is my last highlight of the segment. Remember that clip that we watched with Michael Keaton saying, they don't like you.
They don't like you.
They don't want to hang out with you. They think you're dumb.
They think you're dumb.
They think you're stupid.
You're not bad.
Bring this one up. John Fetterman. And what you have to appreciate, I'm going to read it so that they can highlight how toxic this is. John Fetterman.
Who doesn't even know he's John Fetterman, but go ahead.
Who was on Rogan, we'll get to that in a second. We still have tens of thousands of votes to be counted across the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. At AP Politics, shouldn't make a call in this race until every Pennsylvanian has cast their vote.
4 million people have seen this.
Oh, hold on. This isn't the one I wanted to bring up. Well, there was one where he says he blames it on the dipshit green votes. He says...
What are those people?
Oh, son of a gun. Well, anyways,
Jill Stein.
Whatever. No,
Jill Stein?
Jill got 0.2%.
No, but it doesn't matter because he was showing that the differential between between the two candidates in his state of Pennsylvania,
God.
it could be determined by. He called them the green dipshits votes. And I said, this guy who represents his constituents of Pennsylvania is referring to his own constituents as dipshits because they didn't vote for his particular candidate. So it just shows you the disdain that they have even for their own constituents. And this is the Fetterman who got on Rogan, who this might have also been something of a late October surprise, who basically answered Rogan's question about illegal immigration, the fast-tracking of them to citizens, the displacing of them to swing states, and the conversion of swing states into one-party states for the rest of America. And brain-dead Fetterman basically said, undeniably, immigration is having an impact. You can see the impact it's having on Texas.
Well, there's also the spectacular tag teaming of every time an insane woman threatens to take over the country, Donald Trump will team up with Jill Stein to sink her presidential ambition.
That's hilarious.
So he just tag teams with her, and it cost Clinton the election, cost Harris the election, and we're all the better for it.
And Connor, I'm coming in for the story, and I'm tired of people going, oh, this country, they were so sexist, they don't want a woman president. No, we want the right woman president. You guys keep picking people like Hillary Clinton and Kamala Harris. You know what? You had Tulsi Gabbard. That would have been the girl.
But you know what? Now we got her.
Now we got her, baby. I'll take this to the bank. The first woman president will be a Republican. Take it to the bank.
100%.
Yes,
guaranteed.
Connor, go ahead.
I mean, we finally have good Republican women, too, because it's not like we were going to, hand it over to Carly Fiorina in 2016.
Or Nikki Haley.
But, now we're as Patrick always says, the right people are finding each other. We finally got some of the good ones. But I wanted to visit some of the election stats real quick, just because we
hold on just 1 second. Just so that no one thinks I made it up about Fetterman, because receipts are important. If you can bring this one up here. This is the actual tweet where he says, Pennsylvania is going to count every last vote. That's not controversial. That's the law. Also green dipshits voting, helping
elect the
GOP.
What a scumbag.
What a scumbag.
Yeah, take off your dumb hood. Like, dude, the fact that they let him just wear hoodies and shorts, like, bro, go.
Hey, to be fair, have you seen the back of his neck?
Okay, then
it's not good.
Stay hoodie.
It's not good.
Keep the hoodie fed. All right, go ahead.
Wait, what is in the back of his head?
It's disgusting.
Is there another face?
They call it neck folds, I believe.
Yeah,
is it neck fold?
Yeah, he has documents in there. There's a bunch of documents.
It looks like that one guy from the Harry Potter movie who has Voldemort growing out of the back of his head.
That's him.
Yeah.
He has Volda Fetterman. All right, go ahead,
Connor. So, I mean, you might have seen this chart going around.
Stats.
We got to talk about this.
Okay.
Like, you guys know what this chart is? It's
the U.S. presidential election popular vote
for 2012, 2016, 2020, and 2024. Republican and Democrat voter counts. You see that one big outstanding blue line that's way
kind of
above?
Stands out.
That's Joe Biden.
Popular
that was the margin by which he won. That is 20 million more votes than any other Democratic candidate got on either side of him. This chart is going around, and even Democrats are saying, like, did we rig 2020? Because when you look at that, who showed up for Obama the second time, who showed up for Clinton, and then suddenly 81 million people voted for Joe Biden, and then it drops back down to the average who showed up for Harris, that doesn't add up. Those numbers don't make sense. That math is not mathing.
Just to this, because it's going to be attenuated a little bit, and I might have jumped the gun in that this chart was tallied before the final popular vote is in, so there's still some votes coming from California. It looks like Kamala will hit 70 million.
It's not going to be 20
million. No, but the
bottom
bottom
more
line,
people.
it's going to be a 10 million vote differential from and it's not just that it's a differential. It's that is an inorganic spike.
Yeah.
The Republicans are going to say, well, Republicans got many more in 2020
Trump.
as well.
That's Trump.
Yeah, but it's commensurate nonetheless with 2024 to some extent. There's going to be 10 million, give or take. And some people are going to say, okay, RFK, Tulsi Gabbard, they come over to Republicans, they take 3 million with them. There's a population growth. Let's add another 3 million. That's 5 million. That will be
I'll give them 5.
And the other thing is that Trump made people that were disenfranchised and they never voted before. For example, the Amish.
The Amish were on their horse and buggy.
They came through like a lot of rural people that never voted before. They felt heard. So like I understand that Trump brought new voters that were in the mix, but that number is weird. That's what I want to say.
And speaking of those voters that he brought, I actually went and I pulled some of the exit polls. NBC compiled this whole document, and it's fascinating to read through because of the numbers they found. So let's go through some of these voter groups and see who helped us get where we are. So starting off, they have it broken down by race and gender. So 42% of men they surveyed in 7 key states voted for Democrats.
Yikes.
55% of men in those states voted for Republicans. No surprise there. It's almost exactly the inverse for women. 53% voted for Democrats, 45% voted for Republicans. But then if you break it down by race, it gets much more interesting. Because you start to see, for example, down towards the bottom, Native Americans voted 65% for Trump.
Because they care about this country.
They love casinos, too.
You could say they had some...
Trump loves casinos.
Yeah, you could say they had some reservations about Harris.
Oh, what? Native Americans love casinos. Donald Trump.
There's a number of good points in there. First of all, I didn't think of that one. I would imagine maybe bona fide true blood of Native Americans are still a little pissed off with their Pocahontas liar of a Democrat, Elizabeth Warren. In Arizona, they were going a lot more for Trump than had been anticipated. It could be because they actually have an appreciation for for their own personal well-being.
Damn right.
That goes above and beyond what the white liberal thinks is good for the natives.
I think so. Go ahead, Connor.
Yeah. So, I mean, continuing with the race and gender, when you look at basically, white men are once again the most reliable voting group.
Those evil.
No surprise there.
We need to make more of those.
Yeah. and this is what I want to point out, because this was the first election cycle in my lifetime where I've ever seen white men acknowledged as a voting group. Sure, it was by the Democrats, and they spent the entire time denigrating that base, trotting out people like Josh Gad as the symbol of masculinity.
Oh, God.
Josh
Gad, he's an actor.
Exactly.
You don't know.
There you go.
You're too young.
But white men continue to be the reliable voting base for the Republicans. White women as well. So when the Republicans engage in the identity politics and basically burn their support with their base to try to cater to minority groups, like, it's only going to hurt them long term. Though the point is to build it into something where everybody can come have a seat at the table.
Connor, I have a question for you, teacher. I know we discussed this before we went live. On those charts, I have not seen the Jewish demographic.
Oh, we'll get to that.
Okay,
that's on the rebuttal section.
Hey, that's the comment, brother.
I don't want to touch anything that's too dangerous to touch, but within the white male group, do they include Jewish people?
No, well, they have 2 different charts. One that includes Jewish people as white people, and one that doesn't. so it's as schizophrenic as the actual Jewish identity group. So if we could go back to the last slide real quick, there's one other thing I need to point out. Because right down there at the bottom, suburban whites by sex. White suburban women, 46% Democrat, 53% Republican.
Whoa.
That means in these key states, Kamala Harris lost suburban white women.
That's impressive.
That is like the most liberal Democrat group imaginable. For her to underperform with that group in the swing states shows how Trump won the popular mandate. Because if you can't get suburban white women to vote for you as a Democrat, you have done something wrong. So for every Joy Reid who comes out and says, "Oh, it's the uneducated white women," no, they just think Kamala sucks.
We haven't gotten to the Latina vote yet.
No.
Okay.
The Latinx?
Latinx.
Don't say that.
Back up on the previous slide one more time. We have Latino men, Latino women, pretty split. Latino men overwhelmingly, or not overwhelmingly, but pretty significantly for Trump.
Yeah.
Latino women pretty significantly for Harris. But it shows that in these minority groups, Republicans had record support. Even if they didn't win the category, they had way more support than they did even last year, which again shows Harris sucks.
Is there an aggregate Latino vote that doesn't break
There is two slides before.
Because I don't know if I can't aggregate those two together because you don't know if more men than women Latino voted.
This one right here. This will show for Hispanic and Latino, 52% Democrats, 46% Republicans.
That's amazing.
That's
amazing.
Almost even.
Yeah, but what is that an increase from the last election? Because I know it's like double digits. That's incredible. That's effectively a 50-50 split, and yet you have these arrogant Democrat liberals saying that minorities don't know what's good for them.
Yeah. When we called Florida for Trump, and just a quick shout out to our decision desk team that we had at our event.
The War Room.
I had the privilege of sitting in the War Room heading up research, and we had a guy named Lester, who is one of the most accurate pollsters in the country, helping Amy and Tom.
Brand new
call
talent,
states.
by the way.
Yeah,
He's good. He's
First
really
selection.
good. I
Great.
like Lester a lot.
We were able to call, I think, like 4 or 5 states.
5 states.
5 states
before
the
anyone
media.
else.
Incredible. That's awesome.
But when we called Florida, we also I made a note of it. Trump won the most heavily Puerto Rican county in Florida.
Weird.
So like, you called them garbage. They're never going to vote.
He didn't
for you.
call
Did
them
not
any-
work.
Oh no, and Florida's got 500,000 Haitians who I guess also voted. I don't know what the stats are on that, but they did not all vote against Donald Trump.
I don't know. He promised them a car in every garage and a cat in every pot. So he was able to secure their vote that way.
I want to bring more credit. What an amazing night we had. We were #1 on streaming, like
PVD
in
podcast.
PVD
That was so
podcast
much
on
fun.
YouTube. This guy right here, even though I make fun of him, he managed to pull off the most amazing highlight video. Everyone was like, "How do you guys do this?"
Is it on YouTube by itself?
It is on YouTube by itself.
Go
I
check
uploaded
the Value Tank main channel.
and we just had so much fun. It was absolutely.
It's
thrilling.
always good when you like, because I not to get off your point, because I know you want to go kind of.
No, I wanted to talk about the event.
Oh, okay.
as well,
That's so perfect because
spectacular for everybody.
And I want people to understand this. Viva, what you've done for these past 4 years, what we've done on the Unusual Suspects, what the people at home that watch, that understand, to the people behind the scenes, to all the podcasts, to Pat interviewing Trump, to all the work from everybody in this building, Ruby, Jake, everybody, Andres, Ev, the whole freaking crew, Jeremy. Everything that we've done to put out the truth, to let people know that this is what this side is doing to what Trump wants to do. That's how we got to this point. That's how we got to the point where those demographics are like, oh my God, you have no idea how many people have messaged me and they're like, dude, I was kind of over here. Look at Adam's a perfect example,
What a
bro.
beautiful story.
Adam voted for Joe Biden. He voted for Hillary Clinton, and now this election, he voted for Trump. And it's because of the message that people like you, that people like this company, it's shedding light, and it's sifting through the BS. And now that I'm happy that there's CNN, MSNBC.
But
that's the one thing I'm mad about Trump's victory. They were almost done. Now they're back.
I saw a Kamala ad that suggested that the likes of Adam would tell you they're voting for Trump. Hey, make America great, and then get there and.
But I actually saw it. He actually did it. Yeah, he recorded it illegally.
It's a felony.
Felony.
No, we didn't. No, we didn't do that. We didn't do that.
Hey, you saw the ad. It was white dudes for Kamala. They were going in to vote, and they were like supposed to be MAGA dads.
You ready to make America great?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then he goes in and changes his mind because his daughter goes, "Hey, Daddy," and he goes, "Man, she should probably get raw dogged in abortion."
and I wanna take 1% credit for radicalizing Adam. I used to, because he doesn't drive.
You drive. Yeah.
So I used to drive him. I've driven him for a year, like after
Miami
back and forth. I was like, Adam, come on, you can't stand for this, Adam.
Yeah.
You can't. So
move the needle.
Adam doesn't drive.
Adam hasn't had a car since 2010.
2005.
But he had a license at one point.
He had a license.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
So,
He Ubers everywhere.
that's cool. He's good for.
But what a beautiful night. It was absolutely wonderful. The energy there, like we have everyone writing about the night that we had.
You know what I just got? This is, you guys want to trip out? I just got a message from somebody from London, that just said, Vinny, you made the Times of London. And they're talking the stories about Barron and how he helped, and the thing says, the financier and podcaster Patrick Bet-David pulled through the gates of Mar-a-Lago in his convertible. A comedian called Vincent Oshana was in the passenger seat with his long hair wildly tousled from the drive.
That's accurate. I'm sorry.
Sounds like a Harlequin novel.
Wildly tousled? What a tousled?
His
what the hell does that even
muscles
mean?
bulging and glistening in the sun.
What
Vinny, by the way, this is a funny story. I'm with my daughter in Target, and then I'm walking, and someone looks at me and goes, "I know you," and it's like, "Oh, from my channel." It's like, "I see you on the Unusual Suspects." I'm
No
like,
way.
Well, I'm not doing a good job.
That's
It's
so
hilarious. He loves
By the way,
show.
subscribe to this guy.
Yeah.
Amazing stuff.
Oh yeah, so definitely subscribe to Viva. Viva, your channel is it Viva Frei?
That's called Viva Frei.
Viva Frei. Look at
Frei.
the shirt. Go to the
The only
channel.
shirt I wear.
And since we're at it, subscribe to the Unusual Suspects. A lot of you guys are just watching and don't subscribe.
Jokes aside, and what you said about everyone doing this job, we literally put the gravestone on mainstream media.
Love it.
I got messages from people from the platforms I can't say,
Yeah.
like the whole information. You saw
I
it.
saw it.
I got phone calls that it's not even close. It's not even close.
Yeah.
So, and I might have broke a record. I was sitting there time coding for 8 hours.
And no peeing, no nothing.
No peeing, no nothing. Pat beat me to it. He didn't pee a single time. I peed once.
The Pavlovsky, the CEO of Rumble, tweeted out. I remember seeing that. Yeah, Chris. He retweets out a steep 26% decline in TV ratings over 2020. Everyone is scratching their heads, wondering how and why. I'll be frank. Rumble and their lunch. Rumble ate their lunch. Oh, there's a typo in it, Chris. Yeah, Rumble ate their lunch for dinner. It's these types of podcasts that people understand. It's not just that they're independent and therefore more trustworthy because they're not bought by pharma corporate ad. It's because there's accountability in that if independent podcasts get it wildly wrong,
you're done.
You're done.
You're finished.
You don't get to like hide, come back in a week and then never
the market destroys you.
The market destroys you. And so reliability is baked into the popularity or success of the channels, and it's why PBD is amazing. It's why independent media really, really did. I mean, shape this election. It's why people are just turning off the CNN crap.
Nice. Go ahead, Connor. You have more?
Yeah, I do have more, but I'm glad we got to talk about the event because getting to be there at the War Room desk, feet away from where you guys were keeping people entertained for 7-8 hours, spectacular.
The biggest
amazing
stream on
performance.
YouTube.
It's like nothing we've ever seen. But if we can go back to my last chart here real quick, I want to touch on Viva's point.
Boom. Is that it?
One more back. It's the religious affiliation. Yeah, here we go. So, Protestant Christians went to Republicans. No surprise there. Catholic, same thing. Slightly slimmer margin, but
because we have one roadblock. Something that Trump supports that we don't like.
Yeah, exactly. And evangelical Christians should also be skeptical of Trump's abortion stance.
And we did call him out publicly.
We did. Good. But here's the stat that just blew my mind to read.
Jews.
78% of the Jewish population voted Democrat.
How? Why? David, you're Jewish. Talk to us.
Well, apparently I'm not on the ins with that side of it to explain it. I don't understand. I don't. Because it's a gripe that I can bring up myself because even if it's from a self-interested perspective, like a lot of Jews, it's where they want America to defend Israel. Okay, even if that's the case, I'm not going to say that you're voting against your own interests, but just as a matter of fact, you are, because a Kamala Biden administration has been worse for Israel and peace in the Middle East than anything. It's why, I forget the Muslim cleric out of, I want to say Minnesota. Michigan. Dearborn.
Stage.
Dearborn. Yeah. It comes out and says, like, look, even if we don't like Israel, or he didn't say it this way, but peace in the Middle East is good for both Jews, Palestinians, Arabs, Muslims, everybody, Christians. So even that, it doesn't make sense. I don't understand it. It drives me nuts. We have arguments among family. And I'm like, how can you do it? How can you be so stupid? 80%. Monolithic is not a good thing. It's not an indication that they're wildly right. It's an indication that there's some sort of aggregate brainwashing. Maybe it's because of influence, lobbying. I don't know. It's got to change. There was homogeneity, ideological homogeneity among the black population for a while in terms of voting Democrat, which has wildly changed. Same thing for Latinos. It's about time that the Jewish vote stops being monolithically pro-Democrat.
After the results, and I think you guys need to do a Jew panel because you, Dave Smith, like I love you guys. I love your opinions. Then you have Ben Shapiro, that's super base, and then you have this wild liberal side of the Jews that will vote against. I hate saying voting against your own interests because it's very condescending. But I think you guys need to do something live and sit down and talk what's going on.
I would like to get a diehard Jewish, one who identifies as Jewish. I don't like talk about identifying as Jewish because, I don't. It doesn't guide my politics. But it irritates me to no end. This monolithic voting block doesn't make any sense.
David, and the fact that, guys, them calling everybody, Jewish people including, that were at Madison Square Garden
Nazis,
and Hitler diminishes the weight of what Hitler actually did. It makes it like a throwaway word. That word Hitler now doesn't have the power that it used to be because they throw it around. And they're calling you Jewish people at Madison Square Garden Nazis and a Hitler worshiper. How the fuck are you voting for this side?
So funny. Like, literally, that article, I think it was from the Atlantic or whatever, calling them Nazis, came out at the exact same time when a Jewish guy was talking on stage at the Madison Square Garden.
First of all, the amount of times I get called a Nazi on Twitter is ironic. I love the fact that some people don't actually know, of my origins. But it doesn't make sense. I don't know what it takes to change, and we'll see if it changes next time. But it's I see. The only thing is it's 2% of the population.
As a general takeaway from these charts that you just showed, they disgust me. Like I'm so tired of like this general racism. Like we should be all Americans, and that's the thing. Are you for America? Or are you against America? These racial breakdowns, these religious breakdowns. Like I think everyone should be on the same page. That's what this country is so special because this country was founded on an idea of freedom. All right, and everyone that can get with the program, and pursue happiness, pursue freedom of speech and everything, they should be in the same page. We shouldn't be doing this breakdown in 2024. Like I don't understand. Like and it makes me mad.
It's interesting for targeting demographics. The irony, and I think this is like reflected in the Latino vote this time around, the underlying racism that goes into saying, Latinos, how could you do this? Like, you should be happy that we have open borders. We're letting in your brethren. You should welcome them. That's basically what they're saying to them. And then they don't understand it when they get their asses handed
you don't understand the hatred towards our legal Latinos, towards illegal Latinos.
Oh, they hate them.
You, Humberto, as a legal Chilean immigrant, your brethren are the MS-13 gang members coming out of El Salvador.
I don't want them here. And I said it a bunch of times on the show. I don't want them here because I had to go through legal stuff. Like, you're going through it.
Through the wazoo.
Like,
I mean, that's the least of the concerns. But
being perfect, never having a felony, never having a parking ticket. Like I need to be on my A game, and then these guys just walk in. We don't like them. We don't like socialism. We came here, and every Latino comes here. They get with the program real quick. You see Mexican guys. They go to LA. They start working. First thing they get is a pickup truck, American flag, a lawn, and they get with the program immediately.
Yep. Humberto, do we have time, Ruby, for Humberto? Humberto, we need you to run through this.
All right,
here we go. Fast and furious, like you're running across the border. Make it fast.
All right, talking about Latinos, we have El Trompo.
Look at that guy.
Look at that. Look at this guy. I'm so proud of my Latino guys.
Órale, güey.
What a guy. What a guy.
Dude, that guy, listen to the three amigos right there.
All right, so I got quick reactions from world leaders, what they say about it. Well, you already
okay,
number.
So who's this?
First guy to congratulate Trump. Maybe he was watching our stream and got the pulse ahead of time. It was Nayib Bukele.
That despicable fascist and made El Salvador a paradise.
Yeah.
That he was the first one to holla at our President Trump.
Dog.
Shout out to Nayib
Let's go, Bukele.
And we can go to the idiot. No, this is not an idiot.
Who's this?
He was super smart. The guy was super smart.
Wrong slide.
Super smart, wrong slide. This guy was super smart. As Trump was trending to win, he backed out of everything.
Because Trump will kill your ass.
He was like, our operations in international waters were purely defensive, but we're announcing a final decision. Trump didn't even have to win
nothing
for the Houthis to back down.
Yeah.
Incredible. Now, talking about idiots, this is the president of my country. He congratulated President-elect Trump. This guy, you can read the tweet there.
You want me to read it?
Yeah.
We congratulate the President-elect of the United States, Donald Trump. Chile reaffirms its commitment to strengthen the relationship with the United States in favor of inclusive development, respect for human rights, and the protection of democracy in our region. We continue to work for the good of our people. Was this transitional accurate?
Was this translation?
Read everything, guys.
Was the translation accurate?
Which I'm surprised, and I think this is a good move. He is a stinking communist. He's left from communism, all right?
Oh, wow.
He's left from communism, but he got the assignment. Be nice to Trump, because
Trump will come.
Be nice.
Yeah,
he will come for you. Now this is the biggest one, and my boy Milei firing off the hip.
Okay, he's firing off the hip, and where does? But this is you translated it?
Yeah, I translated it. This at the time, if I close my laptop with all my research, this hasn't been confirmed yet. It might be confirmed by the time we're live, but and you can put it on the chat. This is Milei announcing a very special announcement. I'm not going to steal the thunder from him.
Don't steal it, but this is his words.
Yeah, this is his words translated.
And now you're going to see that there's going to be a little bit better talk, shall we say, about what Trump does. Because today Elon Musk has bought out that filthy woke bastion that was CNN.
What?
So now we're going to have not only freedom at Equus, but we're going to have a network that's we are going to have a network that not so socialist, so left-wing, and then they will start to report other things and stop lying.
So wait, he's saying that
All right.
Elon Musk bought
this is tickets. Very important. This is a video from El Clarín. Our Argentinian friend there can confirm it's one of the biggest newspapers there. I checked their article, and it's real. He said this. We still haven't gotten a confirmation on the English-speaking media that Elon Musk actually bought CNN.
Oh, my God.
How would he know, though?
Huh?
How would he know?
Because they're boys.
They're all in.
They're
Boss.
boys.
Come on. If you're a world leader, you know Elon
I'm
Musk.
just saying, Javier Milei, he missed an opportunity to go, Kamala Harris, afuera! Joe Biden, afuera!
So we still have to wait, but there might be a chance if the president of Argentina, who I love, said it. But then again, I have a rule. I trust Argentinians 50% of whatever they're saying.
That's
Never trust an Argentinian.
And by the way, speaking of, not to cut you off, speaking of afuera, did you guys hear, just really quick, and let's not get really into it because I want you to finish your story. Jerome Powell, they asked him yesterday, like, hey, what if Trump tells you to step down? Are you going to leave? Nope. And Jerome Powell goes, nope. And he goes, are you sure? Because they don't answer the president. It's the Federal Reserve, but we'll get into that later. I just want to give you guys a scoop. Go ahead, Humberto.
All right. Who done goof is the Mexican lady that they elected. She's terrible.
The Jewish Mexican
Claudia
lady?
Scheinbaum.
Scheinbaum.
Yeah.
You know, that typical Mexican last name.
I wouldn't engage on this talk. She's just a Mexican
President
lady.
of Israel, Pedro Ramirez.
Yeah.
Even though Mexico is like 87% Catholic, but I want to engage on this. She sent a warning to Trump that she wasn't going to recognize the election until the last vote was counted. But then she walked it down, and she was
She
like,
needs to calm her ass down.
She needs to calm down.
Yeah.
She needs to sit down for a little bit, Mexican.
I mean,
lady.
she's voting. I mean, 75% of her people are voting for, if they're here, they're voting for Democrats. So she's angry.
She needs to chill a little bit.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to more world leaders.
Tell me you got Trudeau in there?
I didn't get Trudeau in there. You got Trudeau?
I'll see if I can
All
find it.
Putin calls Trump a courageous man.
Yeah.
That's good. Even though he endorsed Kamala Harris.
Well, everybody on that side wants, especially if you're going to go to war, you want Kamala.
But he wants to get talking about the Ukraine, Russia, situation. So that might be done. As Trump said, he announced it on the podcast exclusive that he was going to deal with that before he got into power. And then we have the only guy that stood his ground. The hood is back down. The Chile is back down. The Argentinians are on board. The only guy that didn't back down, it was Xi Jinping. That is worried about a trade war with the United States. Situation's getting pretty heated.
Again? Well, again. Let's hope another freaking pandemic virus doesn't come out of freaking Wuhan.
It'll be an amazing thing when there's going to be global accountability. Yeah, like there should be, I don't know, not a tariff war, not a trade war, but how about just a decoupling from China? We don't need it, and we can do it here. And the faster that they realize that, the better it'll be for everybody.
Look, in simple, when you make a trade agreement, you either have deficit or surplus, all right? Our country, Chile is one of the only countries that with the trade agreement has surplus. China has a deficit of billions and billions of dollars, and that's just the legal stuff because you need to account copyright, trademarks, technology that it steals. So they have 3 topics on the table that are going to be really hot with China. First of all, it's going to be a tariff. Second of all, it's going to be the trade agreements. And the third thing is Taiwan is going to get hot or it's going to get super cold, and we're going to see.
We have Trudeau.
Let's bring on Trudeau, but then also let's bring this up and then the reply if we can.
Well, so this is Trudeau responding.
This is Trudeau responding.
He's in hot waters.
No. This is Trudeau who has spent the better part of his entire career, shitting on Trump.
Yeah.
See what he has to say to congratulate Orange.
Let's see this. Let's see what he said.
He says, "Congratulations to Donald Trump
on being elected president of the United States. The friendship between Canada and the U.S. Is the envy of the world. I know President Trump and I will work together to create more opportunity, prosperity, and security for both of us."
First of all, this guy's out of office next year, but if you could bring up the reply tweet there, because if I may pat myself on the back again, I ratioed his ass so hard. Hold on, let's bring this up. There you go.
This is your response?
Oh yeah, this is my response.
Yeah, you can.
How do we enhance that?
You idiot! You represent everything that Trump's election was a revolt against. You are a globalist, you are a tyrant, you are the exact opposite of Trump, and nobody wants your well wishes. In fact, nobody ever wants to see you again.
Yes, so that is...
Is he leaving in a year, you think?
The next election, he's out. There's no question.
Thank God.
Good.
Well, because I know we're up against the clock here, I want to do just a quick recap of what we just talked about. Let's see, we have the Houthis backing down, we have the leaders of South America all rallying to support Trump, and Canada. We have, you didn't mention it, but Hamas is also saying it's time to
Hamas,
sue for peace and bring things to. Putin is congratulating him. Xi Jinping is clearly nervous, even though he's trying to talk tough. So what does that mean? I think the whole world just got what to any child who grew up in a normal home is the most terrifying statement you can ever hear. Wait till your father gets home. The entire world just heard Daddy's home.
Daddy's home.
And they are now falling in line around the fact that the actual person who's in charge is about to put his foot down on all of them.
And that's exactly what it is. We have a guy that and I don't know who said it, but someone said I think Chris Cuomo said it. Like you send a savage to the jungle to deal with jungle stuff.
Of course.
All right. And we need a savage to deal with all this stuff. And if I can close my ideas here, I am so glad that plus minus we had a very peaceful election with clear results. Because Trump won by a big margin. I would either like Trump to win by a big margin or Kamala win by a big margin, because the last thing we want here is violence. The last thing we want here is sincerity. And I think we came together and we uphold what an American election should look like. And I'm just glad we're on the other side, and none of our fellow Americans, we're at peril.
I'm well put, and I'm just happy that too big to rig actually happened. But, and in closing, let's not all forget, this is the left. Do not think for 2 seconds that this guy's going to put his guard down. We had Jamie Raskin already warn that he's going to do some suspect shit with Amendment 14. Okay, with Article 3, which is anybody that's done an insurrection that they can disqualify him from president. Don't think for 2 seconds. I'm telling Jude, Trump better not put his guard down. That swamp is still there. The deep state is still there. He just needs to have the right people around him and the people to look for these people. Because you know what they're happening right now, this next 74 days, is all those people are like setting their, like they're putting their, the people that are going to stick around.
Oh, they're very ready for this.
Oh, they're ready, bro. If you guys think this is done, impeachment, all that shit. But for right now, it feels good. And people woke the hell up and they spoke with their vote. And to hell with all of these leftists, Loser, Kimmel, all of you. Ha! We won. Okay? That being said, I want to say thank you guys all. Ruby, Jake, who are on the ones and twos. Who's in the back right
Andres.
now? Oh, Andres. I love you, bro. This guy's, see how fast Andres was? It was like,
good,
before you were talking, it was up there. And to all you guys, this doesn't happen without you guys. Take care of each other. God bless each other. And listen, like Trump's going to do whatever he wants, but just try to talk to your other friends and try to calm them down and let them know that this 4 years is going to be freaking amazing and this country is going to freaking thrive.
Amen.
Follow Viva Frei's site.
Everywhere.
You guys subscribe here, and we will see you guys next week. Peace and love.
Next golden age, baby.